Welcome back to another episode of Classic Mix-Up Podcast. We're back here, episode 15. I'm Rosario.
And I'm Riley.
And we got a special episode today. We're talking about some good albums. We got a little bit of a theme going too, so it should be fun.
Yeah, dude. How's it been? How's it going? Good?
Pretty good. Just enjoying the weather. It's actually nice here. You can see it's very bright back there.
There's actual sun.
It's rare. So happy about that. But yeah, just having a decent weekend. We're recording this on the weekend, which isn't really normal, but
it's start of the week.
Yeah, but no, this is cool. I like having a little bit of light come in. So
yeah,
Yeah, how about you?
Dude, it's going good. Got some stuff settled with school stuff. Hanging, getting some work done. I worked this week. I usually don't work this on the week, but I usually work on the weekends. But got to do a little work, and then I don't have work on the weekend, so I'm like, that's awesome. And then I had some time to listen to the music and.
Nice. Yeah, I've been listening to a ton of stuff, to be honest. I've been getting kind of weird with it. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, no, I've kind of like this past week, I guess, I've just kind of been bouncing around to old music and stuff.
Cool.
I mean, I guess we'll get into that. We do our little breakdown at the end.
Yeah, we always do that.
Yeah. Well, sweet, dude. Anything else? Anything of note? Any news? Nothing? Music?
Not
news?
really. Nothing not music related, I guess. But
yeah, I don't have much to do. I kind of just
I guess we can just kind of we can get into it. We can introduce our special guest for the day if you want to do that.
Yeah. So in last week's episode, we kind of mentioned that we'll have on a special guest that is more informed on the albums than me and Rosario are, and that's my girlfriend Abbey. So we're gonna welcome her on the podcast.
Woo!
Come on. She's hiding.
Wow, grand entrance. That was great. Hi, welcome.
Yeah, welcome on. First time on. So yeah, Abby's more into the music that we are. Yeah, tilted. Go ahead. For those who are listening, we do a YouTube video for our podcast too at Classic Mix-Up, or Classic Mix-Up on YouTube, and you can see our beautiful faces. So but I guess the reason why we're having Abbey on is that she's a little more familiar with the people, the bands, and the artists that we are talking about this week, because especially me, Rosario, I'm not a big.
You don't really partake in the whatever you call this. I don't know what genre would you call this?
What would you call this?
Like neo folk. I think
neo
that's
folk.
what I've heard it be called, but it's mostly just.
So I guess this is our corner into neo folk with our two albums this week, and I gave Rosario Capacity by Big Thief, and he gave me Stranger in the Alps by Phoebe Bridgers.
Yeah.
So,
and is this your first time hearing both of those, or first time hearing?
First time hearing both. I know you listened to the Phoebe album a bunch,
right?
And I had to jump in. I postpone the inevitable.
Yeah, right. So I'm a pretty big fan of Phoebe Bridgers, and I understand that Abbey is too. So
yeah,
that's
why we have her on here, because I'm not going to be any help with the Phoebe Bridgers stuff, the content, the lyrics, the good songs.
Yeah, it gets kind of deep, man. It gets kind of deep. So
okay, because I don't know. So I guess we could start out with the Big Thief album if you want to do that. So
yeah, that's what we were planning on.
Okay.
But so I guess so basically, this is your first time hearing it too, then, right?
Yeah. So
did you have him pick this then?
Did you pick this because I was like, you need to listen to this album all the way through?
Okay, that's kind of what I was wondering.
Yep. Yeah, it was because of that.
Yeah, this is. I don't know if it's my. I don't think I have a favorite Big Thief album. It probably the Dragon New Warm Mountain I Believe in You is my favorite right now, but that's their newest one.
We've talked about that album before.
Yeah,
very good.
It was on my top 10 albums of 2022.
Yeah, I did see Big Thief live last year, so I don't know if there was any songs from because Capacity. They played. I think they played. They played like a different set because I think like, Adrian like hurt her back or something,
The
and
lead
she was
singer.
the lead singer Adrian Lenker. She like hurt her back, so she was like sitting down playing the guitar instead of standing up. So they played like more of their like low key songs. I'm pretty sure they played Mary, which is like one of.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I really like that song. That's cool. I'm trying to get to more live shows, man. Everyone's been to all these cool concerts.
We should go. We all should go to Boy Genius.
Yeah. I was talking. So my friend up here, his sister's in town this week, hanging out with him. His family's here, and we were talking about that Boy Genius, Claro, Dijon concert, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Columbus is a ways away.
Okay, I mean,
I don't know, man.
For us, for you, it's farther, but
well, for me, it's long ways away from here, but it's in June, so I'll be in.
Yeah, he'll be home.
Yeah, no, it's only a couple hours.
I think it's like a good 4 or 5 hours, but
we're probably going.
I think it's only, I don't know, from Detroit.
Just to see Claro. Hey, just to see Claro, Rosario.
I don't know, man.
Well, okay, so this is why we had Abbey on, because she's familiar with our little like transitional like topic at the end. So we'll probably talk about Boy Genius, but sticking back.
Capacity, I started talking about.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
No, it's okay.
It's good little.
Talk about whatever.
Should I talk about like my favorite songs?
Oh yeah, so I'll break it down. So so how we usually do it is that we
start off a little more general.
Yeah, so we'll talk general. 2017 album by Big Thief. They're a pretty big new folk staple. As I learn more about folk, and you learn more about folk, Rosario. Wouldn't you agree with that? That like they're pretty big staple in the folk.
Especially their new album is like
blew up.
Yeah,
I found them was their new album, and which is cool. And I put that on my top. I think it was my 8th top album of 20.
Yeah, their new album had a lot of traction when it came out, which is the first time that I had heard of them. So I listened to that. And I thought it was pretty good. I never really went back to it, probably mostly because of the length of it. So I found that Capacity was a lot easier for me to like. I listened to it a few times, and it was a lot easier for me to like get into it and listen to it more. Yeah. And so I'd say that quality of it made me like it a little more than their newest album, the Dragon New Warm Mountain, whatever it's called. But overall, I thought this album was pretty cool. I think it was pretty which is a normal thing in folk music for the music to be pretty heavy, like pretty deep, pretty sad. I think most of the album is talking about like I think Adrian's childhood and like a lot of hardships she faced in her childhood, which some of the stuff she gets into on here feels really like really sad, which is also true for the Phoebe Bridgers album. So it was kind of a somber week listening to these.
Melancholic. It was
it was, yeah, but that's a good vibe sometimes.
Be introspective and kind of.
It was introspective, yeah. What do you think about it? Same thing or what?
Yeah,
did you like it?
I love Big Thief, so I like.
Okay.
I don't know. I really liked their music. It was a lot of like a lot of the same kind of I guess progressions. I love the lyrics. I love the way that the lead singer sings.
Mm-hmm.
She's very like unorthodox,
but
also
I think
beautiful.
The first time, at least for me, the first time I heard like Adrian Lenker's voice, because she does have solo stuff as well, and I think I heard her solo stuff before. Like her solo stuff, she leans more into that like, I don't know what would like pitchy voice. Like she's very like
she doesn't.
She's really
she has a unique voice.
It's gravelly almost, but
also,
soft but gravelly. And
when you first hear, especially on this album, I feel like she leans into it a lot on some songs like Mary. You're like, ooh, I don't know if I like that, but then like you're like, oh, like this.
Yeah, a lot of songs on the album are kind of uncomfortable. Would you say? That's kind of
there's like some lyrics that are
lyrically,
like,
I was like, ooh,
but definitely. It works. I think.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say that like the way that the songs are written, or I almost find myself getting intrigued by a lyric, especially on this album. Oh, I guess both albums did this to me, where I got intrigued by the lyric, the first half of like the sentence, let's say, and then they would add, or like she would add something more dark, or maybe like switch it up a bit, like maybe something you would expect the sentence to go, it's more intense or more emotional, and like it kind of subverts your like expectations a little bit and
goes in a different way.
Yeah.
One thing I learned kind of on that topic is that Adrian considers her creative process like very like she considers it like she said it's considered like divine intervention, which means she basically like feels something like take over her, and she just kind of like whatever comes out of that comes out of it. And I think that causes her to write these kind of more interesting and vague lyrics. And I think that style is pretty apparent in the writing. Like it's kind of typical for folk music to have a more vague rather than direct like lyrical style and be more on the cryptic side. But I think it works for this album because it adds to that kind of melancholic and like psychedelic tone that the album has. Having the writing be like kind of vague and confusing really adds to that and kind of sets it apart.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely liked I really liked the songs that sounded different from each other, like because I feel like a lot of times when you have like a lot of acoustic music, it has a lot of the same chord progressions or like strumming patterns, so like it just like it'll bore me sometimes, but I love this one because it did switch it up. And I think that's what I like about Big Thief a lot, is that they have a few songs that aren't like all the other songs, so like it
wasn't too repetitive.
Yeah, and I think the lead guitarist is Buck Meek, which is actually Adrian Lenker's ex-husband. They were married.
Oh wow. And they're still in the band together.
Yeah, they still play together. They have an album together too.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just Adrian Lenker is just such a strange person to me.
I think to make good music you have to be a little different.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was also I don't know if they were like, I don't think they were ever, they might have been engaged, but I don't know for sure. But I've never listened to Indigo Sparkle, but she's like another, she makes like the same kind of music, but I think Big Thief's a little better, honestly. But
Indigo Sparkle.
They were together. That was like after she got a divorce. And then like, I think her solo stuff was about that relationship. But this one is like, I think Capacity is pre-divorced.
Right.
Okay.
So this is I think what you said earlier, it's a lot about her childhood and things. Like even the cover is like, I think that's her as a baby. And I don't know I think it's her brother holding her.
Yeah, it sounds like, from what I understand, that she had a pretty rough childhood. Her mother had her when she was very young.
Yeah.
And she described kind of growing up on the song Mythological Beauty, which is probably my favorite song.
Yeah.
She described the process of like growing up with her mother being so young and not even being her mother's only child. And she talks about a lot of heavy and emotional subjects, like obviously the parenting and the childhood part. She talks about like masculinity and femininity on here. She talks about getting stalked in one of the songs. Like definitely a lot of different kind of out there things. Mm-hmm. But it's cool that she's able to capture all those feelings and all those life experiences into music. And obviously it takes a talent to do that. So yeah, I was impressed by this.
Yeah, I think that she's definitely one of the most. I was just talking about this with my friend Andrew. We always we sit in his car and we listen to just like Big Thief and Phoebe, like exclusively Big Thief and Phoebe Bridgers, and we just sit there and we're like, oh my god, like she's a genius.
They are. It's
I think for me at least, Phoebe Bridgers and Adrian Lenker are like my favorite songwriters of like all time. Like
well, I'm glad we had you on this episode then.
What about Elliott Smith?
So he's one of my favorites too, but
it's hard to narrow down your favorites.
Alive, but they're definitely.
So Riley, you agree on Mythological Beauty being the best track or what?
Yeah, I'm not super big on long tracks, but I mean, I loved Mythological Beauty. I loved the lyrics. I loved the middle part because it switches up. I think is that the song? It's like kind of switches up pace, and her voice is she kind of breaks her voice a lot. That, and I mean, I like really picked up on. I mean, I picked up on the subject matter of it being her like childhood, but I mean, I'm not I'm more of a sound guy.
Not like an analyze. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I've definitely gotten better at actually listening to lyrics because of the podcast. So I really tried to listen to the lyrics, and I liked. What was interesting is I'm just realizing that like I liked. I don't know. I didn't really like. I liked the songs that were like kind of random. I loved Black Diamonds to end the album. Like I think I was listening to the album, and I was like, whoa. Like I listened to it, and I was like, okay, this is like beautiful. Like this progression of songs, and I don't know. Like I thought it was interesting that they have a song Shark Smile and then Great White Shark.
I was thinking the same thing. I was trying to decide if that was a coincidence or what.
I think it was, right?
She uses a lot of the same themes and just like lyrics. Like I don't think it's on this album. I think it's on what is it? The following one. But she reuses no. Dragon New Warm Mountain, she sings, she has that lyric is in like I think like 3 of her songs, and then she has the album title and the actual song.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it because
not so much on this album, but
a lot of stuff on this album seems like it's really intentionally placed. So I was kind of trying to figure out if there was
that's what I'm going back.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking at the lyrics of both of the songs to see if they had
any similarities.
It
seemed like a weird coincidence, but
yeah, I mean, I guess like Shark Smile seems very much like I mean, like it's very like she was a shark smile in a yellow van. She came around and I stole a glance. Like it's kind of like a very like more innocent themed song, and the Great White Shark was more of like has more to like more like very like abstracter lyrics, I guess.
You're right. They're not like that similar songs.
Right.
A little darker.
So it could be connected. I don't know.
Potentially connected.
I love the lyrics though. I think each song kind of tells its own little story too. That's what I think I like about like the writing too.
Yeah, very focused.
Yeah. It's like kind of like depending on your mood too, you could like listen to these songs in different like scenarios. Like if you're
definitely
wanting to be more like down, or like if you're in a down mood, you could listen to the lyrics and it could like make you think broader. Or if you're like wanting to be more like, oh, we're driving through the forest on a summer day and like put this on, you know, and like that's what I liked about this album. It's like it's very versatile too.
So, yeah. What are your guys' favorite
top 3?
Tracks? Yeah, top 3.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can talk about a couple here. So I know we mentioned Mythological Beauty a little bit. That's definitely my favorite. I love the subject matter. I love kind of just the emotions that she goes into on this track. I love the lyrics in the first verse where she says, "There's a child inside you who's trying to raise a child in me." That kind of just stuck with me for some reason. I feel like that was a really good, concise way of saying what she was trying to say, and it's definitely a good pick for lead single, which it was for this album, because it's pretty catchy and overall just a great song to, I guess, just detail her hardships and whatnot. And then as far as another couple tracks to highlight, I'll say Mary. We mentioned that one also. I think it's a pretty much like a perfect like piano ballad. Like I think that's like a great spot on the track list to have that, and a great like inclusion for the album. Great songwriting, vivid lyrics, and just the way she delivers the lyrics over the piano is great. And then if I had to round up my top 3, I'd probably say maybe Watering or Coma, but I'm not really sure between those. I thought Coma was a really interesting song.
Yeah,
very thought provoking in the writing.
Yeah, if I had a top 3, it would be Mythological Beauty. I don't know. I'm stuck. I really like the song Haley a lot.
Yeah, I have that one noted also.
I liked Coma and Black Diamonds, I think. So like Coma and Black Diamonds are like my top 3. or it's like
Let me ask your guys' opinion on one thing real quick. One thing that so I listened to this album twice, and both times that I heard the song "Watering," it sounds exactly like 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins. Did you hear that or no?
What?
Listen just real quick. Listen to the beginning.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
It's I might be crazy. I don't know much about guitar, but it sounds like the exact same.
The tone
and
the notes
like
are
down, and it's not. I love that song.
It's just like the very beginning sounds just like the very beginning of 1979. And both times I heard it, that's what I immediately thought of. So maybe that's why I like it so much. I don't know.
The tone and it's probably the same note.
I think it's the same notes. It sounds a little different, like maybe it's tuned different or something, but it sounds.
So in the Smashing Pumpkins song, they probably go up higher. So like the note.
It's more produced. Like this one is more stripped back.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like, I'm not saying it sounds exactly alike. I guess it's more of just. I think it is the same notes. So I don't know because I don't know anything about.
I think also in the Smashing Pumpkins song, it's more like there's 4 notes in the Smashing Pumpkins thing because it's jun 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 jun, where like that's like jun jun jun.
Yeah.
Jun, jun, jun,
you might be right. I just I could not get that out of my. I listened to it like 6 times. I could not get it out of my head. So I just had to get that out.
Yeah, I mean, we're a music podcast. We gotta like.
Yeah.
I never noticed that. That's funny. Okay.
Yeah, I could not unhear it. So.
I wish I would have taken notes of this album because I had a lot of little things that
There are a lot of little things.
I think that's like a part of Adrian's like songwriting. Like there's like there'll be like I'll like fixate on one song and I'll be like, oh, I love this song for like months, and then I'll like go back and maybe listen to like a whole album and I'm like, I forgot that this song existed and I forgot it.
Yeah, totally. There's a lot of little details and stuff.
Lyrics are like there's just so many little things that you don't even I sometimes don't even notice, and it's not until like I probably have been listening to this album for like almost 3 years, and it's like I still am like discovering new things.
That's amazing though. I love that type of relationship with an album personally, but because I listened to it, like I said, I listened to it twice, and I took pretty heavy notes because there was just so much going on and so many little hidden things. And like I said earlier, I think everything was very intentionally placed. I think the track list was intentionally curated that way, and I think all the little just cues in the writing were intentionally placed. And like for example, I wrote a lot about the song Coma. It's not like my favorite song, but it was a song that I broke down the most in terms of being like well thought out and very intentionally placed. And I think it's pretty interesting that the title is obviously called Coma, and it's about the feelings of like being of the numbness and the confusion of being in a coma and all that. It's also the second and only other acoustic song on the album other than the opening track. And so along with the vocals are kind of filtered with like an ominous effect. It's like simulating the feelings of being in a coma. And I like listened to that song a few times, like just trying to figure out what made it like feel like that. And I kind of came to that conclusion. I thought it was very well done, like very, I don't know. It sounds kind of corny, but it was just very well thought out, like very intentionally made.
No, that and 100% I would say that song is definitely like a topic song. Like it's like I think they came in.
It's like a very artsy song.
Probably wrote that song to be like, okay, while you're writing that topic, you probably are playing the music and you probably, like, oh, well, let's do this or let's do this. Or maybe they had a thought, who knows. But that's a great song. I didn't even like that. That's pretty cool.
Adrian and the other band members are definitely very aware and very, very talented with that kind of stuff.
I would recommend their Tiny Desk concert.
Oh my god!
Okay, I bet. Yeah, I haven't seen.
They have their newest one is so cool because they're at home. They did like the at home desk.
Yeah, they're in this like weird little like
A-frame
room. Like
interesting.
Yeah, it was really good. So I'd recommend that for you. So I guess for what would we recommend for people listening? What top 3? What did we end?
Gosh, I'd say Mythological Beauty is the easiest song to like pick up and listen personally.
Definitely my favorite song is, at least right now, it changes all the time, is definitely Mary. I just like how hushed it is, and like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. There isn't a bad song really on this album. It's
I would agree.
kind of honestly no skips, but that's how every Big Thief album is. Like
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the top 3, I'll round out the third is a Black Diamond. I think it's a great song to end the album. It kind of even that ending progression and how it wraps up is just beautiful. And I was like, whoa.
I played that song for my grandpa one time, and he was like, "Yeah,
this is good."
It's like that's
really cool.
I think that one's a little more toned down. Like if you were just beginning to get into Big Thief, that would be maybe the one to listen to. I don't know if it's one of their most popular. Their most popular on this album, and one of the most popular songs it's Mythological Beauty.
Yeah, Mythological Beauty and Mary are both kind of more like indie rock than like that stripped back kind of folk lo-fi like Como was. So they're maybe a little easier listening, but I say this all the time for a lot of the albums that we talk about is like it's a pretty short and easy to listen to album. Like I would give it a go.
It's very digestible, and I like Big Thief, and so it's like I'm liking them even more too because I love the lyricism. I love her voice. Her voice is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty unique, and they have a pretty. Correct me if I'm wrong. They have a pretty big discography, I think, and I haven't really gotten into it yet.
They have 5 albums, and then Adrienne herself
has solo.
Like, I think 3 solo albums. One of them are 2 full-length albums, and then no, she has an instrumental album, like the one with like the flowers on it with her grandma's painting, and then I think the other one is called. I haven't really listened to that one a whole lot. It's called like Abyssius or something, Abyss something. And then she has an album with her ex-husband Buckmeek, and that is a really good album. I love that one.
Yeah, so plenty to dive into here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess that wraps it up for Capacity by
pretty much.
Big Thief. Great album. I recommend it. Everybody should listen to it. Great fun listen to. Good introspective piece. So yeah, if you want to move on to what you gave me, Rosario.
Yeah. I'll say my little piece about it, and then we can let Abbey give her take. So yes, I gave Riley "Stranger in the Alps" by Phoebe Bridgers, which is a pretty famous album. It's the debut of the folk / pop / rock singer Phoebe Bridgers. It's a super emotional album, kind of I'd say underrated in the writing, but still definitely considered one of the best sad albums of the recent years. And it's one that I found over this past summer when I was getting into more like folk music and this indie different type of stuff for me. And I listened to it while I was delivering pizza, and right off the bat, I'm like, man, this album is insane. So I went home, listened to it more, and now, I kind of listen to it all the time. And when Riley said, oh, hey, we're going to, do an episode where we talk about Capacity by Big Thief because my girlfriend wants to come on, I'm like, okay, well, I know she loves Phoebe Bridgers, and Riley has to hear it. So
I have never listened to this album, and I wouldn't say I'm a hater of Phoebe Bridgers. I'm not. It's just
never gotten into it.
Well, it's just it just hasn't lined up with me.
Some people just don't.
It's just
care for her, and one of my friends was like, we were talking about music, and she is like really into music. Her dad is like a producer or something.
Dang.
And I was talking to her, and I was like, I asked her if she liked Phoebe Bridgers because I think we were talking about like Taylor Swift, and I was like, and she was like, oh, like Phoebe Bridgers is kind of in the same vein, and I was like, oh no.
As Taylor Swift, she is opening. Phoebe Bridgers is opening for Taylor Swift.
I mean, I love Taylor Swift.
Tour.
Obviously, I'm a white woman. I love Taylor Swift.
They seem like pretty different artists to me, although I don't have a lot of Taylor Swift knowledge.
Not really. I think I forgot where I was going with this, but I was like, she was like, oh, she's too boring. Like she's like everything. It's boring, and she has like a boring voice. But I
wouldn't say she has a boring voice.
Or like her lyrics are boring.
Yeah,
I don't think her.
With Bo Burnham.
Hey, Bo Burnham needs to get out of there.
Bi woman's like peak male.
Lana Del Rey posted a picture with him, and I'm like, oh my god, that's not him.
That's not him.
It's not him.
Okay.
I'm like.
There's
100%.
a video. She like released a new like what is it like a vignette a little bit like it's like a little like video for music coming out.
She just came out with a new single.
She came out with a new single AW, but I think that was the music video.
Yeah,
and there was a guy that was like Bo Burnham.
I don't think it was Bo Burnham.
And I was like, it's Bo Burnham.
I'm assuming you're a big Lana fan.
Why is he like home wrecking?
I'm assuming you're a big Lana fan, Abby.
Of course. I'm very excited for the new album.
Yeah, I haven't really got into that much, but the new singles are actually pretty solid. So I'll probably be joining you with that. And it comes out around the same time as the Boy Genius album, doesn't it? We might be doing another one of these pretty soon.
Yeah, you gotta do for the new. You should do a
Boy Genius.
You should do
Lana
Norman. Can I swear on here?
Yeah.
You guys should do Norman fucking Rockwell.
Yeah.
That's.
I don't know if I want to put Riley through that. I don't think he would like that.
It's such a good album. And
I mean, I like it. I love Venice Bitch, but I don't know if Riley would really be into it. I don't know.
I'll do it. It's just I don't know if I have much to say. It's just not even about I don't like it. It's just
do it together.
We usually stick to the I give Riley like a rap album and he gives me a garage rock album. That's kind of a good formula.
Yeah, well, because that's what we're familiar with.
That's kind of what we know.
Episodes like this steps out of our comfort zones. And listen, I don't hate Phoebe Bridgers. I just she makes me really sad.
I mean,
I get that. That's kind of her job.
I get that it's like really sad, but it is love sad music. Like I think I only listen like this. I don't get. It doesn't. The only song that like makes me really sad that I like don't really like to like listen to that much is like "You Missed My Heart." That's a really sad song.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the saddest. I mean, not objectively the saddest. All of these songs are very sad. This is one album that I can go through each song and like talk about.
I think personally, if we're talking about the like one song that I would turn on that I think is genuinely sad, other than "You Miss My Heart," I agree with that. One for me personally would just be "Funeral," which is also one of my favorite songs. But it's just extremely somber. But just the way. I don't know, something about that one. That's one of my favorites.
It's I think that was one of the first. So I have been a Phoebe Bridgers fan for a very long time.
Okay.
I remember when I was in I think I was in like 2017.
Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
Sophomore year, I remember this coming out. And I remember like the single, I think the singles were Motion Sickness and then Funeral. And I remember being like, my like brain was rewired. But
yeah,
I mean, do we want to talk about like our favorite tracks?
I gotta break it down.
Yeah, let's hear Riley's thoughts on this. He's been pretty quiet.
Because I am.
This is his first time listening to this album all the way.
I know.
So you guys need to listen. You know, okay. So I guess I'm gonna go down the track. I feel like this is an important. My thought process was very important for this album. I think.
Yeah, we can go track by. I have notes for every single track.
Phoebe Bridgers fandom. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say that I am now a Phoebe Bridgers fan. I do like her music. Okay. I respect her as a songwriter. I like the sound. Very pleasing to hear. Okay. Smoke Signals, great start. I loved it. I mean, that's one of the more popular songs.
Fantastic start.
I think Abby's played that for me. Mm-hmm. Motion Sickness, I loved the hook of that. It's playing in my head now. Just that her melody, I get whatever emotional motion sickness or whatever.
Great songwriting.
Yeah, it's great. And then there's like, is that the album where she talks about the guy, like that one guy she dated?
Ryan Adams.
Yeah, she's like, she dated this old ass dude.
Super old guy.
Yeah, some old fucking guy.
He's in like a band.
He's in a band, yeah. He's in a band that was, I think, pretty big in the early 2000s. Which is when he was Phoebe Bridgers' age.
It sounded like he hurt her pretty bad because all these songs.
He took her to court.
Well, so what the story is, from what I remember, is that he kind of has a history of doing this to young female musicians.
So he's a fucking dickhead. Fuck that.
I think so. So obviously, whoever he is, for whatever label he's on or whatever job he's had, is that he has a lot of pull, I think, in the music industry. And I'm pretty sure that she signed to the label that he worked at or something like that, or was signed to. And that's kind of how he got to her. But it sounds like it was a pretty abusive relationship and a pretty predatory kind of.
Yeah. And he and she and the way I found that, like, I think when I got to Scott Street, it had a line of like, he's like, oh, she was like, oh, your sister graduated college, and then she's like, oh, it made me feel old, and then you said, imagine how I feel, and it was like literally like the 5th time in 5 songs that she's like mentioned this old fucking guy.
Also very young here. I think she's like
very young,
old now. She's like 28 or she's 27.
So at the time, she was
like probably like, but when she wrote these songs, she was like
probably 20 or 21. Yeah. So, I mean, it's right in the first lyric of Motion Sickness. She says, I hate you for what you did, and I miss you like a little kid, which is, like I said, great songwriting, because it's, saying how obviously she hates him, but
it's like funny. Her and Billie Eilish performed together, and they sang that song together, and Billie Eilish is dating that guy from The Neighborhood.
Yeah. Jesse. Something.
Devin Carlson.
I didn't know that.
That's all I know.
Billie Eilish just got like groomed by that guy or some shit. I don't know. I think
that's the music industry is kind of crazy, man.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I mean, I would say arguably Billie Eilish is a little more influential than the guy from The Neighborhood right now. I mean, I like The Neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know the guy from The Neighborhood's name. I know Billie Eilish's
I don't know. Name. I know that he was Devin Lee Carlson's ex-boyfriend. I don't really remember his name though.
I think I know one song by The Neighborhood. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
she's like,
I know the sweater song.
I love Billie Eilish's interview where she's like, I hate all these girls and they get with ugly ass men. And I'm like,
yeah, I don't care for Billie Eilish, if I'm being honest.
I've never really listened. I actually have a lot of friends who have similar music tastes to me that quite like her, but I've never got into her.
Yeah, one of my friends was like, I remember like in early high school, she was like showing me Billie Eilish before she
really
blew up, and I was like,
it's kind of cool.
Like this, and I still don't.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Riley's analysis.
We're talking about Billie Eilish.
Okay, so so I guess like going down, I liked Funeral is sad. I didn't save it because it was so sad. So I guess that's the thing for songwriting. I really like the lyrics in that song.
I feel like it's one thing about that song that I love is how maturely she kind of handles that song and tells the story.
Yeah,
because like Abbey said, she was very young at the time that this all happened.
Yeah, no, well, and I think I've like listened to like some of her recent songs, and her songwriting is kind of different. Like I would say, would you say? Because I feel like a lot of these songs are so like almost like she took a lot of time with a lot of the lyrics and what the themes were.
Yeah.
So like, or like her new songs may seem like a little more broad or a little bit more like influenced by like her popularity, but songs like Funeral are like those stand out.
That she deleted the demos off of I think Bandcamp now, so you can't really listen to them. You have to like scour SoundCloud.
Rosario will find it on Reddit.
I'm sure. No, that's what I do because I kind of like the demos better than.
Are they raw?
I mean, they're not super raw, but she kind of. I feel like she really has like a folk voice. Like she doesn't. I don't really. She had that one song that came out, The Sidelines. That came out like a little while. It was for that one show that came out. I didn't really like it. I didn't really care for it that much.
Well, I'll say one thing about Punisher, and I spent significantly less time with Punisher. But it is a little more kind of pop star like. I mean, it's still Phoebe Bridgers, but I think I prefer Stranger in the Alps because it's a little more folky.
Yeah, and I think she needs to strip it back. Like I've been.
Yeah, I mean, I it's sad to see kind of like I don't know. Like I always like. I like when artists go out of their comfort zone and try different things, but I hate to see when someone like kind of blows up with one kind of more stripped back, more folky sound, and then they transition into a more mainstream sound.
Yeah,
I just hope she would follow her heart and just do whatever artistically kind of works for her.
Her voice has matured a little more. You can tell because she got older, but like she just doesn't have a voice for like a lot of production. I think she she's like a folk singer almost. Like
right. I think she should embrace that.
Yeah, the less you do to her voice, the better it sounds. Like she sounds the best when she's just doing like finger picking and like singing into like a computer.
And I think that's why like I like this stuff. Like I mean, anything other than this, I don't know if I've been super fond on. Like I feel like it's kind of out there, and like I think I like this. I like her guitar playing on this a lot, and I think we'll get to the one song with Connor Oberst on there, and I like how he plays guitar. I recommended Rosario, his first album, or his
Which one?
The first one. You know how he has the 2 albums, how it's like Believer or something like that.
The one.
Not the one that just came out. The one
No. I know what you're talking about. It's his most.
Are you talking about the Bright Eyes album or one of his different projects?
Solo albums or the Bright Eyes album?
Okay.
He's got a lot.
I love I'm Wide Awake.
He's the lead singer of Bright Eyes.
Shut the fuck up.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Bro, what?
You guys got to do a Bright Eyes album.
I have it. I guess a spoiler. I have a list of albums that I'm going to give Riley, and I'm Wide Awake. It's Morning is on there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know.
Have you heard that album, Riley?
You would love that album.
Okay.
You've never listened.
Yeah, you
to
would.
It? I'm like last year I went through like a phase where I like exclusively listened to Connor Oberst.
Abby, I'll give it to him eventually. Don't worry.
He's gotta listen to that. You would love.
Okay, well, anyways, now you know that he's the lead singer of.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Right. You didn't know. I feel like this should have come up in conversation.
No, because I think he got separated from Bright Eyes way before I like. I found out about Connor Oberst through like discussions about Phoebe, and I was like, I don't know. I don't even.
Okay.
Well, I think it's like crazy. Connor Oberst is like very like influential in like.
Right. I mean, he's considered like a legend in this kind of subgenre.
Yeah, this is her debut album, and she has Connor Oberst on it.
And then they formed.
She's been on an album.
I didn't like him on this album. Can I?
Really?
I don't like his voice. What they did to it.
I love his voice.
That middle.
Then you would not like the Better Oblivion Community Center, which is their. You know they have a collab album, right?
It's such a good album. I forgot to talk about that. Good. That's such a. Dylan Thomas is such a good song.
Are these people?
Okay, let's refocus. Okay,
let's get done with this album. We can leave this discussion of what I should listen to.
Yeah, we've barely touched on this.
So let's get through the album. Okay, so my favorite song was Killer. I really like Killer. I feel like her like thought process about like. I mean, she's like, just the lyrics were so cool and different from the other songs before it, where it was more like when she was like really, I don't know how you describe it, but she's very like almost like, it was more like angry. Would you say?
She's like obsessed with death. It's super dark.
It was very like angry.
She talks about Dahmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she said in an interview that the album, like they asked her, what is the album about? And she said, the album is about the obsession of how someone can kill somebody else.
What the fuck?
Which is kind of a weird thing to be obsessed with, but that's
but look at have you seen Phoebe Bridgers? She looks like someone that would be obsessed with serial killer. She's so like, I don't know, like very like interesting. She
is interesting.
It's goofy.
Like I said earlier, man, you gotta be interesting.
You gotta be a personality if you want to be in folk. You know,
I love.
But she seems really cool. Like
she's just like a rock star. I don't care if she cheated on Paul Mescal or something.
Oh, yeah, that's fucked up.
With Bo Burnham and Maddie Healy. Who cares? She's a rock star.
A lot of drama. See, I don't know anything about that. I just know about the music.
Okay. Giorgio's good. I really like Chelsea.
Yeah. Chelsea.
I saved 3 songs from this album, not because I didn't like all the other songs, but because they were the only songs that I probably listened to again. Which was Killer, Chelsea, and You Missed My Heart. And I'd listen to those songs like on a playlist or something. But other songs were like super, like, I don't know. I liked Would You Rather too, from like the Chelsea to You Missed My Heart. I remember being like, whoa, these 3 songs are great. And I liked how long You Missed My Heart was because it led it into like I don't know if the Smoke Signals Reprise was like is supposed to be like a song or like a lead on part. I don't know.
I didn't listen to the deluxe of this album when I was doing
I believe it's just instrumental.
It is just an instrumental.
Yeah, so I think it's just to be like a mere
that ending of You Missed My Heart could go really good into Smoke Signals. So I kind of
that's kind of the idea, probably of what she
right,
and like a loop.
Because it almost feels like You Missed My Heart is like 2 songs, because it has that beginning part where all the lyrics and heavy like subject is, and then like it's that second part like leads really get into Smoke Signals. So I like finished this album and I was like, whoa, that's cool. This is a cool album.
It is a cool album. Yeah, those 3 songs you just most recently mentioned, which are the last 3 tracks on the track list, I think all 3 of those are really interesting and good songs to kind of pick up on. Yeah. I had kind of the opposite experience when I first listened to it, where the first 3 tracks I thought were stellar, and I kind of maybe fell off like as I listened to the album. But as I've gone back to listen to it many times,
I think once I've heard Smoke Signals and Motion Sickness so much that I was like,
well, me too.
When I got past those, I was kind of like, oh fuck, this is what it's all gonna be like. Like it's all gonna be like, I get emotional motion sickness, and I'm like, fuck, I get it. Like you're sad, like I get it. And
no, it gets super dark.
Then it gets really dark. I love Killer. Yeah. Like I think Killer was my favorite song by far. And then You Missed My Heart. And that's like those 2 stand way above the other songs on the album.
Yeah, so Chelsea in itself is super dark. I don't know if you know the story of that song or not, or if you want to get schooled on it, but it refers to the murder of Nancy Spungen, who was allegedly killed by her boyfriend Sid Vicious of the Sex Pistols. Do you know that story or what? Yeah. So
I mean, I'd never liked Sid Vicious. He killed someone. So
he definitely did kill someone at the Chelsea Hotel in the 70s, I believe.
Well.
He was horrible.
Yeah, so I think the song I think it could be either like telling the story from Nancy's perspective or a different interpretation, which is what I found. And I only kind of thought of this in my most recent listen of the album before the podcast, was that she's kind of comparing herself to Nancy, I think, and saying how she's like hypothetically staying at the Chelsea Hotel with her partner at the time, who is that whatever guy we were talking about earlier, the older dude.
And he's like killing her metaphorically.
Yeah, metaphorically, I guess.
Hates this guy. I mean,
he's taking away her innocence.
I think she was like literally 19 when.
Exactly. Yeah, it's yet another instance of this album of like Phoebe. She draws a lot of connections between like murder and death.
Yeah.
And its comparison to like relationships and like the cycle of relationships. And this is probably the most direct comparison because it's obviously referring to the story of a boyfriend who got really high and killed his girlfriend. So
horrible guy. Mid-ass.
Yeah, definitely. I read all about him for the podcast. He was definitely a horrible guy. And then that goes into Would You Rather, which, like I said, includes Conor Oberst, and I'm a big fan of his work with Bright Eyes, and they're frequent collaborators, obviously.
I feel so stupid, dude.
Dude, it's okay, man. It's like classic mix-up.
Well, you don't.
I don't listen to this stuff, man. I like literally don't.
I guess I gotta play more Bright Eyes. I was like,
Bright Eyes. Don't spoil too much of the I'm wide awake it's morning. I'm gonna give it to him.
So he's now gonna give me all of this folky music. You can't.
Dude, I love folk music, man. I love folk music.
We've only done like a couple of folk albums.
Well, we've done 2 Neutral Milk Hotel albums, and
but that's kind of garagey.
Did they have a new album out?
No, it was deluxe. They haven't been together since like.
Oh, you're talking about like on streaming services? Something just came out on streaming services. The Everything Is EP. That's been out, but it got re-released on Spotify.
Yeah, we're big in. Our last episode was all about like how Rosario had to go on to like Reddit and download some sketchy link and stuff.
Yeah, I just did another one too. Oh, I was talking to you about it last week.
Did you do it?
I did. We talked about
this album out, and we could talk about that if you want.
Yeah. I was gonna go into the last track with You Miss My Heart. You could probably do a whole analysis just on this song alone.
It's very sad, and I think touching. I think this song was more touching to me lyrically because it was very like I had pity, almost when I listened to this song, and I was very like I don't know why I related to it so much.
I don't know. It fits in perfectly with the album. So this is a cover, if you didn't know, by the way.
Oh, I didn't.
It's originally by Mark Kozelek, Sun Kill Moon or the Red House Painters.
Yep. Yeah,
it's the lead singer of that. So it was him and Jimmy LaValle had a collab album in 2013, which is where the song's originally from. And so this is like a perfect
lower.
I think she and so she slowed it down a lot. Also, the original song was a little more had a little higher tempo. So I think her picking the song and slowing it down is like a perfect way to end the album. Like she definitely knew what she was doing, and she picked a perfect song to close the album with. And it's just.
So is this original song like faster?
It's a faster, yeah, it's faster. It's still kind of
okay, because I might save it and listen to it eventually.
It's still kind of like an acoustic. It's still a folk song, but it definitely. I think there's a little more drums in it, and it's a little higher tempo. Yeah, she slowed it down and made it more emotional, I think.
It's Kozilek, Mark Kozilek?
Yeah, Kozilek. Yeah, Kozilek and Jimmy Lavelle. They had a collab album. Kozilek's an interesting character, man. I could talk about him for a while too. But.
Dude, we need to have a folk album week.
Dude. Have you ever listened to any Sun Kill Moon?
No.
I think I've listened to a little bit.
Who's
this album called Benji from 2014? It's actually crazy.
The microphones guy isn't the same guy.
No.
That's Phil. That's Phil Elverum.
That's the one I showed. Yeah, the one album
Mount
I showed you. A Crow Looked at Me. Mm-hmm. Have you ever listened to that, Rosario?
No, but we've talked about it. I've heard it's like pretty much the saddest album anyone's ever heard.
It's the saddest.
I've cried. Like
I remember when I first found it, I was like, I just like put it on, and I don't like. I love sad music, but that's just too much.
No, that's the thing for me. Is I've
actual loss. Like
it's about his wife dying.
I know. Yeah, I've kind of avoided it because I'm like a little afraid. Like I want to wait. Like I don't know. I just when the time is right.
Extremely heavy. Like
I'll give it.
I've kind of just want to be in the right headspace for that one. So
okay. Yeah, don't do it. You're like
What's
stuck
his
in
face?
snowy land.
What's his face does a review of it. That guy. What's his name?
Fantano.
Melon?
Yeah.
I like Fantano.
I like Fantano as well. Abbey doesn't believe.
No, I don't.
I mean, I don't always agree with his opinions, but I think the way he speaks his mind, and I think he definitely has a lot of music knowledge. And I also envy like just how much music he listens to. Like that guy knows just everything.
Yeah,
so
we've kind of talked about how like he may not have views that are like 100% like makes sense.
Yeah, like I don't agree with him all the time.
He allows people to like talk about music in a way that they want to without being rude.
Yeah,
I like his interview with Lucy Dacus. It's funny. Or his review, he calls her like cerebral, and she has a song where she says, Why did you call me cerebral when you could have just called me pretty? And he calls her cerebral by accident.
Well, she is okay.
She is cerebral, I guess. I don't know.
She is one of the members of Boy Genius, correct?
Yeah. Oh, shut the fuck. Okay, we gotta get done with the album. We need to finish.
Yeah, we
got so much to talk about. I love it. But okay, so my top 3 songs: "You Miss My Heart," "Chelsea," and "Killer." Or "Killer,"
right.
"You Miss My Heart,"
and
Chelsea.
I kind of just broke those ones down. So
and I guess and I will listen to more Phoebe Bridgers. I will give her.
Did you guys do? I thought you guys did a review on Punisher already.
No.
You got it.
Have you heard Punisher?
Did you listen to Punisher?
Pretty different, but
it's different, good. But it's still like.
I don't prefer. I think most people would probably prefer it to Stranger in the Alps. I don't, but it's still solid.
I don't know. For me,
I really like Chinese Satellite and Kyoto.
I think it's a little more upbeat, but it's still
like, it's less dark from what I've gathered.
Yeah, it's about. I mean, it's it won
the Grammy, which means something, yeah. I guess. Even though I don't really fuck with the Grammys, it means something.
I don't really fuck. Well, Big Thief lost to fucking
Moon Song.
Wet Leg.
I have Moon
Did you see that?
Wet Leg? No,
Wet Leg.
I don't even know what Wet Leg is. Dude,
should
I know? Street plant, man. Okay,
should I know?
On Punisher, I did save Moon Song, so I do like Moon Song.
You like I See You.
I don't know any other songs though. I know.
I See You. Yeah, I like I See You. Fucking what's it called? Chinese Satellite.
Chinese Satellite.
DVD menu.
Savior I like
Garden
every song.
Savior Complex.
I know the end.
We'll save it. We'll save it. We'll save it.
As one of my favorite songs.
We'll save it.
Yeah, you can come back when we talk about that one.
Okay.
Brother.
Should we?
Anyways, yeah, I mean, I haven't really said my top 3.
Yeah,
I mean, I've hinted at it.
I'll do mine.
Yeah, I hinted at it. It's the first 3 songs. Pretty basic, but Smoke Signals, Motion Sickness, Funeral. I can't stop listening to those 3. They're all just so perfect to me, and they all mean something different. Yeah.
What are yours?
That's a tough one. I gotta put Scott Street has to be my favorite on the album. It's one of my favorite songs of all time, probably. I just think it's such a beautiful song. It makes me so happy. I don't know. I have a lot of good memories attached to Smoke Signals. The first time I ever met Andrew, my friend Andrew, he played that song. We were talking about music, and I was like, oh, I love Phoebe Bridgers, and he played Smoke Signals, and this random girl like sang, and he like sang with this random girl that we like met. It was like the first week of college, and like,
That's
so
cool.
I think I gotta put that on there because I just love the memories attached to that song.
No,
And it's
I feel
also
you on
one of my
that.
favorite songs, and probably Would You Rather, because I love Phoebe and Connor together.
Me too.
But I mean, I also really like Demi Moore, but I gotta.
Yeah, well, you can't save them all, right? That's what they say. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess final thoughts of this album. Phoebe Bridgers creeps me out now because of
she's a creepy girl, and that's what I like about her. She's a strange girl.
Which is I mean weird in a way of eccentricism. I mean calling her weird in a way of like admiration, being like, okay, yeah, she makes this awesome music. But she's a weird person. Like she has her.
She's so funny live. Like I saw her live, and it was like she's like awkward and like kind of weird.
She seems like she got bullied in school.
Yeah. Well, you've ever seen pictures of her in high school? She's like she's kind of a freak. Like
she kind of is a freak. Yeah.
I don't know. I just love her.
Well, she's still a freak, but now she's cool because she has like a folk band and she's like an artist.
Yeah.
So hey, she used her awkwardness to make beautiful music that is interesting and weird, but also beautifully written.
Everyone around her too. I like.
Yeah, so I guess like we can transition that into our like topic away from the album, which could be Boy Genius. Like tell us about Boy Genius. We're both not.
So we are 100% going to Ohio to see them because I absolutely have to because she did.
I'm not gonna third wheel on your guys. This is date to Ohio, man. You guys go have fun.
Help! I don't know what
you can come.
Take pictures of Claro for me, man.
No, Rosario, you gotta come, dude.
All right,
so fun.
You gotta come.
Hey,
if we buy tickets, I'm gonna let you. You take your roommate. You bring your roommate with us.
All right.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
So yeah, you're in. If we're buying tickets, you're in. I'm gonna let you.
Okay, let me know. Okay, let me know if you buy tickets.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
But they're coming, and so it's Phoebe. Who else? Who are the other two girls?
Lucy and God, I always forget her name. Don't
look at me, man. I don't. You're just like Riley. Don't know anyone's
name. Always forget her name, but she's really good.
I don't know anything about the other two women in this band.
You would love Lucy. You would love Lucy.
It's Julian Baker, Phoebe Bridgers, and Lucy Dacus.
Yeah. I've seen Phoebe live, and I've also seen Lucy live.
Dang. Yeah, so I listened to their EP that they have out right now, and it was pretty dang good. Definitely seems like something that I'd be into. So I'm definitely down to see them live, and I'll probably melt when I see Claro. But do you like Claro, Abbey?
I love Claro.
Yeah, okay. No,
I've always loved Claro. I remember when that YouTube the like Hot Cheetos YouTube video. I was like, oh, what is this? I don't.
Yeah, no, I haven't been in. I've been listening to her a lot.
I was really anti-Claro in high school for some reason because I was like, oh, she's an industry.
I've been listening to her for like probably a little over a year now. It was like last winter that I found her, and like, yeah, I'm obsessed with her music.
Yeah, well, me and Rosario have some great memories to listening to Claro because we
listen to Claro all the time. I always put it on.
Yeah, we listened to our friend
when we drove home from Ohio in the summer, man. Yeah. We listened to like Peach Pit, Jack Johnson, and like we listened to like This Is Claro on Spotify. Like, I think we just like listened to that entire playlist.
For a whole discography we listened to on the way back from Cedar Point.
I mean, it's short. It's a small discography, to be fair.
Yeah, we were full of like we got Famous Dave's like barbecue.
Yeah, dude. Is it a festival in Ohio
No, it's a concert.
It's a concert, and is she opening?
Claro's opening.
Oh, then we gotta go.
Yeah, it's
okay. Do you know?
I'll an arm and a leg. I'm going.
Are you familiar with Dijon at all?
I
compare him to. He sounds just like Frank Ocean to me.
Yeah.
So
I haven't my friend was playing him in the car the other day when we went to Belle Isle, and I really loved. I haven't like listened since, but I really liked.
I can't remember the name of his album. He has an album out. It's called Absolutely. It's his only album. It came out a couple years ago. It's like really solid. So he's gonna be there, and Clairo, and then obviously Boy Genius.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna be in the merch line for Boy Genius' set. If I'm being honest.
You're gonna be in the merch line?
Yeah, that's what I'm just gonna do. That's what I gotta do. Because I'm all in for Clairo.
Me too. I'm all in for Clairo. No disrespect to Boy Genius.
Yeah. No, I gotta tell the story of when I saw Phoebe. I went with my friend Val and her like roommates, and we show up and we're like looking at it was outside. It was at Aretha Franklin Arena in Detroit. And all day it was like saying that there's gonna be like crazy thunderstorms and like everything's gonna like be awful, but we get there and it's like not raining yet, but then once we kind of sit down, it starts like torrential downpour. Like I've never seen it rain so much in my entire life. And
wow,
the arena started to flood and a ton of people left and the set was delayed. Like I think Muna opened. I remember we got there a little late because we couldn't find parking, and Muna played, and then Phoebe didn't come out for like another I think it was like 3 hours or something crazy.
And you stayed.
I stayed.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I know this is a little fucked up, and people are probably gonna get mad at me for doing this, but me and my friend Val didn't have very good seats. But we moved to the front because everyone left.
Yeah, I mean, if the people with those seats left,
front row seats to Phoebe Bridgers, and you left, I'm taking.
Yeah, no, that's on them. I don't think that's morally incorrect.
No, and then someone proposed during. It was like Moon Song, and I was like, "It's not very weird." And then she made a comment, and she was like, "What?" Like she was kind of like confused, which I thought was.
Of course, she would do that.
It was probably their song, you know.
Well, or what?
Some people's songs
no, it was
are
Savior Complex, which is a song about.
Oh, that's kind of like anti.
Yeah, I know. It's about like.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. She said she was like, "Oh, this is a song about alcoholism," but whatever.
Yeah. Jeez, I'm out of that.
There's a video. My friend took a video.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I won't be in the merch line with Riley, but I will.
Hey, I'll take that
for Clairo.
I will go and.
Riley can go stand in line for merch and.
Yeah, I would rock the Clairo t-shirt.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. And we made this hypothetical scenario where Rosario.
Are there still tickets left, man? They've been on sale for a while.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I'll find them.
Abbey will find them.
Well, are you guys getting a hotel or something, or?
I don't know. I was talking to my mom and she was like, "You guys should get a hotel," but I'm like, it's like not that long of a drive. We'll just drive.
I'm fine with the drive. So I drive like 9 hours, like it's nothing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I can do it. I'll drive you guys.
Yeah, no, I think the drive isn't bad. Like I was talking to Abbey and I was like,
I'd rather drive than pay for a hotel.
Yeah,
because it's like okay, we get home at like 2 a.m. That's like
I mean it's fine. I mean it's the middle of the summer. It's June 23rd.
Yeah, and like listen, I'm not like me and Rosario both like are okay with driving. Like
we're all out of school.
100%. Yeah. Okay. We can talk. As soon as this podcast is over, we can talk. But I have some stuff to bring up on the topic of music we're listening to instead of concerts we're going to.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I if you don't know, this is kind of what we do. When we're done. Talking about whatever. But I was gonna say an album that was really sick that I think you might like it, and I want to show you the cover. It's gonna be hard to see, but it's an album by this guy called Mickey Diamond. Can you see that? He parodied
food. It's like food.
He parodied the food cover. So I gotta listen to this. He had a lot of Doom shout outs in there. You could tell he's like super inspired by Doom.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that was an MF Doom cover.
It's a like parody of it. It's like the exact same art style as food. So he has a lot of like references to MF Doom, and he also has a lot of references to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and like Marvel and Pokemon and shit like that. It's like a super nerdy album, which I thought it's kind of cool. It's a really short album.
Listen to it.
What else did I say I had to talk about? Oh, I've been listening to like some like classic dream pop stuff, like some essentials that I thought I had to listen to. So I listened to So Tonight That I Might See by Mazzy Star because Clairo recommended that one to me. So shout out Clairo. And then I listened to Heaven or Las Vegas for the first time and lived up to the hype, I'd say.
Cool.
You should listen to Gemini by Wild Nothing. That's a good one.
I'll take your recommendation. I've been like really.
I listened to that one. That's a good one.
I've been like really into that kind of style of music lately, like that dream pop, shoegaze. Like I've been listening to that fucking My Bloody Valentine album too, whatever it's called.
Wait, dude, My Bloody Valentine. That reminds you of like high school.
I missed that stage in high school. I was listening to only rap.
So. Oh, dude, which is crazy. Like I feel like middle school we were listening to like a lot of the same music.
Well, middle school I listened to. You know what I kind of did? I'd say in middle school I listened to only one genre of music, and then in like 9th and 10th grade and like even maybe 11th grade I listened to only one genre of music. But then like the past like 3 or 4 years I've been like just off the wall, which is cool.
You gotta do what you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that it? What you've been listening?
Pretty much. I just wanted to say that I listened to the Mazzy Star album and the Heaven in Las Vegas, and they were both.
Yeah. No. I mean I know Mazzy Star from her, and I don't. I mean, past that though, I'm not.
Yeah, it was solid. I really like the Cocteau Twins album, The Heaven or Las Vegas, especially the title track's been like stuck in my head for like days.
Cool.
And I have no idea what the fuck they're saying either, by the way, but it's still good.
Yeah.
So,
that's awesome.
Literally can't understand a word they're saying.
Hey, I mean, that's some of the best music. Sometimes you don't know what they're saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I don't listen to what they're saying.
Between them being Scottish and it being like that, like hazy dream pop, like I literally could not tell you a single word they're saying except for the chorus where they go Heaven or Las Vegas, and it's been stuck in my head for a long time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess music that I was listening to is like a lot of like. I went back and listened to a lot of like rock stuff, like Hendrix, kind of like.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, we did Cream last week. And I've been listening to so much Cream recently. Just a lot of like guitar to like get better at playing guitar, like listening to.
That's sweet.
I mean, but I kind of went back to the, my old reliable Black Keys.
Yeah.
To like live, they had a bunch of live music that came out recently, so I was listening to that. I really listened to the fuck out of Neutral Milk Hotel. All of those songs, the EP that we did last week, I listened to that.
It's addictive, man.
And then I really listened to On Avery Island again because we made all those connections, and I went back and kind of like, did that. I really, other than that though, has been just, I guess like random stuff. I actually been listening to a lot of, I listened to Damn by Kendrick Lamar again because I wanted to revisit it, and I was like, oh wow, I forgot. I love
Damn. Do you think the new album is better than Damn or what?
It's different. I couldn't say. I feel like Mr. Morale is a good mix between Damn and like Good Kid, Mad City. Like it's like
it dips its foot into a lot of different.
And I guess. But I love Damn because I love the bars on Damn. Like
I love Damn.
We undervalued his bars on that album.
I think Damn is kind of overhated to me. I think in the Kendrick fandom, like Damn is super disrespected.
Oh, I know.
And I think it's just because you're coming off of To Pimp a Butterfly, and obviously Dan is not as.
And I think this is a hot take for me, but To Pimp a Butterfly is not as good as. Yeah, I think it's like a top. I think it's his 5th best album.
Yeah, that is a hot take.
A lot of people I see where you're coming from. Best album, but I just like I'm a huge Kendrick fan.
I prefer. I mean, yeah, people aren't gonna like this, but I prefer Good Kid, Mad City and Damn to.
Me too. Yeah, me too. And maybe even Mr. Morale now.
Yeah, I don't know if I could. I don't know about that. I'd have to really think about. I don't think so, but
I don't know. That was a hot take.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. I've just kind of been listening to stuff here and there. Stuff she recommends me. Father John Misty was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you get that from her? Or?
Yeah. And then Kurt Vile. Do you know him?
No, I have a hot take about Father John Misty though. I think I Love You, Honey Bear is a lot better than pure comedy. So
yeah.
Oh, you agree?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh shit!
I thought that would ruffle some feathers in the Father John Misty community. But
he's supposed to be on the new Lana album.
Oh really?
I'm
that's
interested to see what that's gonna be.
Oh, yeah. Have you heard I Love You, Honey Bear yet, Riley?
No, I listened to one song.
Okay.
We're running out of time. We're supposed to go to dinner.
Okay.
I'm sorry to cut you short.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
We gotta go to the dinner with my mom, and she's like freaking out. She's like,
yeah, no, that's cool. Do you want to give me an album?
Yeah, I'll give you.
I hear a lot of dinging, man. It sounds like you gotta run.
it's my text. I'm getting blown up.
That's fine. Do you have something for me planned?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, you give me what.
This is always hard for Riley. I was gonna give you Friday Night Lights. I want to talk about that. J. Cole.
Oh, you mean his EP?
It's not on Spotify, but I'll send it to you.
Send it to me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that you send me like files now. It's not like on Spotify.
Dude, we gotta dig deep, man.
Okay. I will dig deep then. Let's do Okay, let's do a Pearl Jam album.
Oh, sick.
Live on Two Legs is my favorite. It's my first CD, and Live on Two Legs is a live show that Pearl Jam did in the 90s, and it's a great album. So we'll do that. And we can kind of break down live music and that kind of thing if we want to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess we can wrap it up. Thanks, Abby, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. That was a fun episode. They have to go, so
yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll do a quick conclusion.
Thanks for watching. We'll still make we'll keep making these, no matter who listens. We love doing this. Me and Rosario. It gives an excuse to listen to music and talk and all that. So everybody stay happy and healthy out there. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.